don't remember my first day, but I know he was there. He may have been pacing and worried while joy and responsibility danced within him like lovers. I don't really know, but I do know that he was there. To hold my mother's hands as my tiny lungs learned to reach for oxygen. To take me up tender in those arms suited for moving houses. To give me his index finger so I could wrap my own baby strength around it. He is my father. He gave meaning to the word before I could speak it. And I don't remember my first year, but I know he was there beside me to catch the first language attempts I made. They resembled crystalline waves kissing a continent. I called him Dad. I began to form sentences and memories at the age of 9. I molded myself to an awaiting world, and he was there to be my guide. He told me I exist as more than just a vessel. I am oceans wide. I am a strong land mass, and I can speak like the wind to direct myself anywhere. And I remember taking his advice. I was always late coming home from school because I was exploring new places. And I remember our quiet moments, concentrating on the rise and fall of the chess soldiers in front of us, while I listened to his tales of the Depression. He was the greatest man I ever knew. And I remember the first moments he began to forget. I remember when he was 68. It was like watching a well-built house slowly lose its occupants. Still keeping its strong pillars, weathered walls, and welcoming porch, while the neighbors progressively noticed that lights weren't coming on as often, that the mail was backing up. And I remember the first time I found him forgetting where home was. He was in our garage, standing, no, staring, no, searching. I didn't know. So I asked him what he was doing, and I waited for his words, but he was silent. He looked towards me with an explanation caught underneath the sails of his vocal cords. His eyes were wide like a living room removed of furniture. It felt like the walls had stopped telling him their stories. I remember his favorite grandfather clock stood in the corner of the room with a grave, immutable face. He will always find home in my heart. Because words and houses and continents, they're just vessels that hold our thoughts. There's so much more to this world. Every beautiful moment I had with him remains true as the sunset. There will always be new routes home. I am his son. I knew the meaning of the word before I could speak it. So now we would like to introduce our